Why love fails, the hidden truth behind modern relationship breakdowns. Love fails at an alarming rate in modern society, with approximately 40% of marriages ending in dissolution and nearly 1 million couples separating annually. Despite the initial promise and commitment, relationships often deteriorate over time, leaving both partners wondering what went wrong. The reasons why relationships fail are complex and multifaceted. Research indicates that poor communication gradually causes couples to drift apart, while nearly half of divorcees cite lack of love and intimacy as their primary reason for splitting. Moreover, infidelity remains a significant contributing factor in many breakups, highlighting how trust, the foundation of any strong relationship, can be irreparably damaged. This article explores the hidden patterns behind modern relationship breakdowns, from the early warning signs of fading love to the deeper psychological and social factors that contribute to failure. However, understanding why love marriages fail doesn't mean accepting defeat. By examining the core issues that undermine relationships, couples can identify problems earlier and potentially find pathways to reconnection and healing. The early signs love is fading. The subtle erosion of love rarely happens overnight. Instead, it creeps in gradually, with telltale signs that partners often miss or dismiss until the relationship has significantly deteriorated. Recognizing these early warning signals can be the difference between repairing a relationship and watching it disintegrate completely. Silence replacing conversations. When silence becomes more frequent than dialogue, it signals trouble. This isn't the comfortable quiet of secure relationships but rather a potent indicator of underlying conflicts. Silence often serves as a smokescreen, concealing tensions that simmer beneath the surface. For many couples, this manifests as tiptoeing around sensitive topics, fearing confrontation. The silent treatment, a flat-out refusal to discuss issues, represents an especially toxic form of communication breakdown. This manipulation tactic leaves important relationship issues unresolved and makes partners feel worthless, unloved, and confused. Furthermore, research shows that ignoring or excluding someone activates the same brain area as physical pain. Emotional distance and coldness. Emotional distance typically develops slowly, making it easy to miss until it becomes nearly irreparable. This growing apart manifests through reduced communication about deeper emotions, with conversations becoming routine and surface level. Partners may avoid vulnerable topics, finding it easier to keep interactions light than risk discomfort. Physical affection and intimacy often diminish simultaneously. What was once a passionate relationship gradually transforms into something resembling a roommate arrangement. As this roommate energy sets in, partners feel polite but emotionally disconnected, like co-managers of a household rather than a unified team. Avoiding time together. When partners actively seek ways to avoid each other, it's a significant red flag. They might stay late at work, see movies alone, or even take the long way home. This avoidance behavior signals that either feelings have changed or essential needs aren't being met in the relationship. Additionally, partners may stop planning activities together, whether date nights or future goals. This lack of shared planning often indicates diminished value and respect for the relationship. For instance, if conversations about the future become uncomfortable or are avoided entirely, it suggests one or both partners are no longer invested in a shared future. It hurts when love fails. Emotional toll. The emotional impact of fading love can be devastating. Depression, anxiety, and loneliness frequently result from failed love, making it difficult to focus on daily tasks or find joy in once pleasurable activities. The emotional instability can leave lasting scars that take considerable time and effort to heal. Rejection by a loved one or betrayal through dishonesty can deeply damage self-esteem, causing individuals to doubt their self-worth, attractiveness, and deservedness of love. In fact, the pain of love failure manifests in various ways, including sadness, anger, guilt, anxiety, and even physical symptoms like appetite loss or sleep difficulties. Why modern relationships fail. Relationships falter due to underlying factors that gradually erode the foundation of love. Recent studies reveal several key dynamics that contribute to this breakdown, offering insight into why couples drift apart even after promising beginnings. Lack of communication and empathy. Communication breakdown leaves couples feeling emotionally disconnected and alone in their relationship. Without open dialogue, past wounds remain unhealed, creating uncertainty about the future. Partners often resort to frequent interruptions, word twisting, or constant distraction during conversations. Consequently, these negative patterns make it impossible to resolve conflicts, leading to emotional distance where partners feel unheard and unimportant. Mismatched expectations and goals. Couples frequently struggle with misaligned priorities and life trajectories. These differences stem from varied cultural backgrounds, personal values, and family upbringing. Mismatches commonly occur in areas such as intimacy needs, social preferences, crisis responses, and problem-solving approaches. Notably, expecting partners to be mind readers creates untold misunderstandings and arguments, ultimately damaging connection. Trust issues and betrayal. Betrayal severely impacts relationship stability, with studies showing 30% to 60% of those experiencing romantic betrayal develop symptoms of PTSD, depression, and anxiety. This trauma affects self-esteem and creates lasting difficulty in forming new connections. Beyond infidelity, betrayal includes dishonesty, emotional abandonment, and breaking promises, all of which erode the foundation of trust necessary for healthy relationships. Financial and lifestyle stressors. Financial stress significantly impacts relationships, with 72% of Americans reporting money as a major source of stress. These worries affect cognitive functioning, memory, and perception of social cues between partners. Research indicates that daily financial stress correlates with decreased relationship satisfaction for both individuals, often leading couples to avoid discussing money matters altogether. If love fails, it was never love, myth or truth? This common saying stems from biblical references in 1 Corinthians 13 verse 8, suggesting that true love endures all challenges. Yet this interpretation requires context. While divine love may be unfailing, human relationships encounter numerous obstacles. The reality reflects that people change through pain, trauma, and lack of self-understanding, making the idea that real love never fails both comforting and potentially misleading for those navigating relationship difficulties. The hidden patterns behind love breakdowns. Beyond obvious relationship problems lie deeper patterns that silently undermine love. These hidden forces often operate beneath conscious awareness yet powerfully shape relationship outcomes. Unrealistic views of love and romance. Many couples stumble because of unreasonable expectations formed through media exposure. The continual portrayal of passionate, conflict-free relationships creates a distorted image of real-life love. This leads to demands for perfection, expecting partners to never make mistakes or always understand needs without communication. As a result, everyday relationship realities collide with these idealized notions, creating disillusionment. 2. Social media and comparison culture. Social media significantly damages relationships by showcasing curated versions of others' lives. Approximately 23% of partnered adults report feeling jealous about their partner's social media interactions, with this number rising to 34% among 18 to 29-year-olds. Furthermore, constant digital distractions harm quality time. 51% of partnered adults say their partner is frequently distracted by their phone during conversations. Emotional unavailability and past trauma. Unresolved past experiences often create barriers to emotional connection. Individuals who experienced abuse or trauma typically develop coping mechanisms like emotional suppression. These patterns manifest as difficulty expressing feelings, fear of vulnerability, and avoidance of intimacy. According to research, trauma survivors frequently exhibit hypervigilance, emotional reactivity, and trust issues that complicate relationships. Why love marriages fail more often today? Although arranged marriages reportedly have divorce rates of only 1 to 2%, love marriages experience breakdown rates of 20 to 30%. This disparity stems from several factors. First, love marriages often lack family support systems that help navigate difficulties. Second, expectations in love marriages tend to be more self-centered than in arranged marriages. Lastly, many couples mistakenly believe marriage will automatically fix relationship problems. Can love be saved? What actually works? Even when a relationship seems beyond repair, specific strategies can revive the connection and rebuild what was lost. Research shows couples can recover from serious breaches of trust and emotional disconnection through focused effort and mutual commitment. Rebuilding trust through transparency. Repairing trust begins with open communication and taking full responsibility for actions without deflection or excuses. Transparency requires consistently matching words with actions over time. Sincere apologies should acknowledge the hurt caused, express genuine remorse, and commit to specific changes. Reconnecting emotionally and physically. Emotional intimacy requires creating safe spaces for vulnerability. Regular check-ins about each other's feelings and active listening without judgment help. Rebuild connection. Non-sexual physical touch, cuddling, hand-holding, and hugs can restore intimacy without pressure or expectations. Setting shared goals and values. Setting mutual objectives shifts relationships from meh to meaningful. Shared goals create purpose, strengthen commitment, and foster deeper connection. Working together on financial plans, dream trips, or living arrangements reinforces partnership and mutual support. Seeking help, therapy, and support systems. Professional guidance provides tools for rebuilding trust and improving communication. Couples therapy helps identify negative patterns and develop healthier interactions. Importantly, seeking help early prevents small issues from becoming insurmountable problems. Love never fails, what the Bible really means. The biblical phrase love never fails, 1 Corinthians 13 verse 8, refers primarily to God's eternal, unchanging love. This divine love never ends because it emanates from God's nature. Understanding this context helps distinguish between idealized notions and the work required in human relationships. Conclusion. Relationships remain complex entities that require continuous work and mutual commitment to thrive. Throughout this exploration of why love fails, several patterns emerge that contribute to modern relationship breakdowns. Most notably, communication issues serve as the foundation for many relationship problems. While mismatched expectations and unresolved trauma create additional barriers to connection. Despite these challenges, couples who recognize early warning signs like emotional distance and avoidance behaviors stand a better chance of addressing issues before they become insurmountable. Similarly, understanding how external factors such as financial stress and social media comparisons affect relationships allows partners to protect their connection from these common threats. Though relationships fail at alarming rates, this doesn't mean all love is destined to end. Instead, the data suggests that relationships require realistic expectations, consistent effort, and sometimes professional support. Couples willing to embrace vulnerability, practice transparency, and commit to shared goals often find pathways back to connection, even after serious breaches of trust. The contrast between idealized notions of perfect love and the reality of human relationships highlights an important truth: love itself doesn't fail, rather. Relationships struggle when partners lack the tools, awareness, or commitment necessary to nurture their connection. Understanding this distinction helps couples approach relationship challenges with greater patience and compassion, both for themselves and their partners.